Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Shazad Hussain and I live at 20 Primary Way. And today it's been 123 days since my brother's been kidnapped. I'm making this video today on the 9th, on Saturday the 9th of December 2020, 9th of December 2023, and the time is around about 8:30, 8:37. This is a this is an audio only video today, as it's very cold outside and cold and gusty and windy, and I just wanted to just make an audio recording rather than a video one, because it's not necessary. I've not had a very good day today as well. I've just been in bed all day, simply because of the despairing situation that's now been created for me regarding my brother's situation 123 days later, and I have absolutely no idea where he is. And this despairingness of a lack of understanding and the realization that powerful forces kind of overpower me and put me into this situation, and directly in violation of my freedoms and liberties, and in direct violation of my brother's freedoms and liberties, most importantly. It's very, very harrowing to know that there's nothing I can do, there's nowhere I can go, there's nothing I can change this status by the local authority, who are effectively all powerful, all consuming, all dictatorial, and doing as they please without providing me with any kind of legal framework or any kind of understanding. This is just pure abuse of power and procedure, and they're holding me captive in my own life, in my own world, and also holding my brother captive in this manner. 4 months later, it's now been over 4 months, and every single day I've been sending a message to his social worker from the 31st of August, Christopher Browell, who was quite happy to speak to me beforehand when it served the agenda and narrative to keep effectively profile me and keep an eye on me, saying that they have a duty of care to my brother, but in reality have been targeting me. So now I've sent him a 100 messages, over 100, literally 100 messages. The 100th message was sent to him today, via leaving a voice message for him, and they all refused to engage with me or have anything further to do with me. And the reality is that they've just stolen so much money from us and stolen and ruined our lives, all under the pretext that they are acting in the best interest of the client and acting for trying to fulfill their duty of care, when the reality is that they are using their position of power and authority to target and victimize me and my family, and to such a degree where they've basically isolated us, keeping us having full control and dominance over us, and having no real legal framework in place. But then the reality is that they've managed to have all the legal professionals on their side. I'm just reflecting now that first of all, every solicitor I've dealt with has been subsequently privately commissioned by them. So going to a solicitor, this is one of the reasons that going to a solicitor is a task in futility, because any solicitor that I approach, the local authority simply set up a back channel of communication with that said solicitor and pervert them to achieve the narrative that they're looking to put forward. But more importantly, they not only pervert my own solicitors, they've now fully perverted the courts and tribunal services by previously purchasing the services of Nick Goodwin, who was the public guardian that assisted in my mother's murder, death, and the violations, who's now the head of the courts and tribunal services. So they've got their man, that's their man, you see, and he's the head of the courts and tribunal services. And then obviously they've got their own man, their own selected judges, not only in the magistrates court, not only in the county court, not only in the crown court, but obviously evidently from into the high courts of justice in London, particularly Mr. Justice Cobb and Mr. Justice Cohen, who they recruited in order to end my mother's life. So there's the whole legal system is corrupt from top to bottom. And then obviously they've recruited both the police service now, who are assisting them achieve their narrative, and basically they are committing acts of tyranny and aggression against me and my brother, and previously my mother, in order to cover up their own systemic failures in adult social care. And there's really nobody I can go to. I mean, there's simply no one and it's just very, very disheartening because the police are involved, the councillors are involved, the members of parliament involved, MPs are involved, they're all involved. And they all collude and conspire to target and victimize me. And what have I ever done but be a carer? And they've utilized that role, that weakness, that position with that which has no legal protection to exploit me and my vulnerable family members. And now it's just very disheartening that they've taken my brother for the past 3-4 months, and they could do this, not provide us with any kind of legal framework. They could be torturing him now, torture him to death, because there's no legal framework, there's no human rights, there's no Geneva Convention, there's nothing. They can just take somebody and state that, oh, we're gonna not take care of him because we've taken all his money, and we're controlling all his money, and that's all done illegally and unlawfully. My brother's never authorized this, and they are so desperate now to push through the fact that he lacks mental capacity, and he clearly doesn't lack any kind of mental capacity. He's authorized me to represent him, and just as my mother had authorized me to represent her, just as my sister has authorized me to represent her, because they don't speak English, and they needed somebody, a trusted family member, to represent them and deal with and manage their affairs, just as my late father did, and my other brother Nazim, who they murdered in 2014. So it's just very, very disheartening and demoralizing to find myself in a situation where there's nobody that can help. Everybody is hyper skeptical about what I am saying, about these allegations, hyper skeptical, and yet the reality is that every day that goes by is torturous for us, and it's all by design. They're trying to torture me and psychologically, gaslight me, and basically giving me the silent treatment after having abducted and taken my brother, and saying, oh no, well, it's all all bureaucracy and legal framework now. You just come down one day and just abducted my brother, and then put bail conditions, saying I can't see him anymore. The last time they achieved this was in February 2021, when they got a high court judge to give injunction orders to get me to vacate from the property so they can forcibly take care of my mother. And how did that work out? My mother was deprived of her liberty for the last 334 days before they vaccinated her and killed her off. And now all of a sudden we're back at the situation where they are doing the same thing over and over again, and there's very little I can do about it. I'm just it's very tiresome, very demoralizing, and that's by design, because they want me to be depressed, isolated, and alone. So nobody, so I lose my mind, and they're trying to make me lose my mind, and so I come and do something irrational, and then they can capitalize upon that. But the reality is this not neglectful? Now every single day is the same. I leave a message, and like I said, I've left 100 messages, literally 100 messages for left 100 messages for his social worker Christopher Browell. I've left over nearly 60 messages, 62 messages, I think, to the city solicitor. I've left over like 50 messages to the DWF solicitor for Manningham Housing Association, all being ignored. I'm leaving a message daily for the police, including the constables, chief constable, to speak to me. Everybody just giving me the silent treatment, while every day that goes by is both torturous for my brother. And the reason that they can fund this is because of the benefit money of my brother that they've stolen, and then subsequently just keeping me into this situation where they've got ongoing court proceedings indefinitely. They've had, in my calculations, they've had one investigation or court proceedings indefinitely going on for the last 10 years, since I believe August 2012. First of all, they've always had people targeting me and victimizing me directly for the last over 10 or 11 years, where previously it was all done clandestinely, while they were looking to befriend me, and all the evidence is there, but there's very little I can do about it other than just be patient and persevere, because there is no other means for me to do anything other than being held captive like this, at their mercy. And that's the way they want you. They want you at their mercy, because they want to continue to be authoritarian and dictatorial and saying that we're doing something, when the reality is that you can't be authoritarian and dictatorial when it comes to the issue of care. But they don't care. they want you at their mercy, because that's the best way that they can protect themselves. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Allah Hafiz. I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to kill myself. Obviously, I'm depressed because my brother's been taken away from me and there's nothing I can do about it. But it's not going to result in anything stupid. I'm a very reasonable, rational person. But these people are not reasonable or rational. They're desperate now. Getting desperate, trying to kill people off, trying to kidnap people, trying to, then just give you the silent treatment. If they've done everything legitimately, why are they not refusing to be open and transparent and just simply engage with me? Because they know they can't. They know what they're going to say. Yes, Mr. Hussein, yes, we are villainous, evil people. We're committing fraud and crime, and you're recording us, and we don't like that, so we're not going to speak to you. It's all lies and deceptions, and well, I'll just leave it there. So today is the 9th, Saturday, the 9th of December, 2023, and the time is around about 8:45. And I continue, and it's been 123 days since my brother's been kidnapped from my care, and this is truly horrendous and diabolical. So I'll leave it there.